Johannesburg, South Africa. Leaders have reaffirmed their commitment to multilateralism even as U.S. President Donald Trump's unilateral policies continue to generate tensions. Brazilian President Lula da Silva has emphasized that despite Trump's efforts to dismantle multilateral frameworks, global cooperation will ultimately prevail. Let's listen in.
O presidente Trump tem dado demonstrações já há alguns meses. Ele já se afastou da Unesco, ele já se afastou da Organização Mundial do Comércio, sabe? Ele está tentando fazer uma pregação prática, sabe, do fim do multilateralismo, tentando fortalecer o unilateralismo. E eu acho que vai vencer o multilateralismo.
Outcome of the summit was the G20 leaders' declaration, which addressed global challenges such as the climate crisis without the involvement of the United States. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who hosted the summit, highlighted that the declaration reflects a renewed commitment to multilateral action. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India has called for a global compact on artificial intelligence, emphasizing the need for ethical standards to prevent misuse. While the summit focused on strengthening multilateral cooperation, the U.S. boycott and tensions surrounding the war in Ukraine has emphasized the challenges facing international cooperation. European leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron, warned that geopolitical divisions could signal the end of the G20's effectiveness in addressing global crises. Now, for this discussion, we welcome Professor Andrew Latham. He's an international relations expert, joins us live from Minneapolis. Thank you very much, Professor, for joining us again. Good to see you. Professor, now, looking at this, how effective do you think these whatever comes out of G20 could be, and how does unilateral actions by U.S. is affecting the credibility of this institution?
Well, this institution, like a lot of institutions that we are still in existence, was created either during the Cold War or during the post-Cold War era, in which we were in a very different geopolitical situation. Bipolarity during the Cold War, obviously, the US, USSR, and unipolarity in the aftermath of that conflict, in which the US got to be the principal rule maker. Everybody wanted to join the American-led clubs, and a cooperation around the planet was premised on American leadership. That world has passed, and now we're in an era of multipolarity, and whether it's Turkey or India or South Africa or Brazil, regional great powers around the world are reasserting their right to help make the rules, not just be rule takers, but be rule makers. And it remains to be seen if the G20 can survive that moment of transition. It was built for a different world. It may adapt. It may continue to have some utility. It may morph into something quite different, or it may die, but remains to be seen.
Right. With that, I would like to thank Professor Andrew Latham for joining us today and sharing that insight from U.S. Now we move on to our next